So here we are with our quick news roundup coming from Nintendo and even some outside of the world of Nintendo. We have, first and foremost, Super Mario cereal. Now,
it's real.
Yes, on Nintendo's official website, some of you may have heard about this. They say Super Mario cereal from Kellogg's makes breakfast a playful experience. With Super Mario cereal, Nintendo and Kellogg's have teamed up to take fans on a breakfast odyssey that will continue long after the cereal box is empty.
A breakfast odyssey.
Yes. In addition to collectible Super Mario Odyssey box art, so they're calling the box of the cereal a collectible. That's
you know what? It'll work.
Yes.
Just putting the word collectible on it actually makes me want it.
Yeah. In addition to the collectible Super Mario Odyssey box art, each Super Mario cereal box functions as an amiibo accessory, making breakfast a more playful experience and causing tons of little kids to bump their milk onto their Switches.
Oh no.
In quotes, they say, this powered-up partnership with Kellogg's is another exciting way for us to expand the Nintendo brand in unique and creative ways, said Tom Prada, Nintendo of America's Senior Vice President of Strategic Initiatives. We are always looking for new opportunities to bring smiles to people of all ages, and this is a fun way to kick off the day. The limited edition cereal box will begin hitting store shelves across the US as early as December 11th. Those playing the Super Mario Odyssey game can tap the cereal box on the Nintendo Switch system like you would an amiibo to receive gold coins or a heart in the game. Even the cereal itself has a Super Mario twist, with colorful power-up marshmallows and a blast of mixed berry flavor in every box. We are thrilled to pack so much fun into one box of cereal, said Brad Schwann, Senior Director of Morning Foods Marketing. The package adds value and excitement for fans, with marshmallow shapes in the cereal inspired by Super Mario power-ups to tie the theme together. For more information, please visit Kellogg's at kellogg's.com. So this
is like Mario Lucky Charms, basically.
Yes, this...
Yep.
No, ads. Stop it. Alright. IGN's getting closed out. They had ads.
Okay.
I couldn't mute it. Okay.
It was IGN on mine too, the one when
Yes.
I said that the ad was super loud.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Come on, guys.
It just wouldn't even let me mute it. Bad IGN.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the chat we have Kendrick saying, you mean pack more sugar into every box. Or pure sugar into every box. The cereal has an amiibo. Okay, so the cereal box itself is an amiibo. It has one of the NFC readers, or what the NFC tags, on the box itself.
Yeah, so there's no amiibo figure in the box. It just comes with it.
The box itself acts like an amiibo. It's similar to the amiibo cards you could get with what was it, Animal Crossing, to where it's like just a little card. It'll probably be like taped inside of the box at a specific part of the box, and then you can just cut it out and use the box to tap onto the amiibo.
I wonder which amiibo it will act like, if it'll just be like a Mario amiibo, or if it will act as its own.
Well, it said it gives you coins and hearts.
Okay. Do you know which one does that? Jesse?
I'm here.
Okay.
Had someone,
Thought I lost
my little brother came in. But yeah,
Okay.
it was, I'm not sure. I haven't experimented with the different amiibos in Super Mario Odyssey.
I know you can use them at any point, but I've only used them with the little robot guy. The little amiibo robot.
Bad news for you. Go Girl in the chat says, I read that you can't buy it in Canada.
What?
Yes.
No, I have to.
We had
it's gonna be like
much,
$100 online now.
We had so much Canadian pride on the last podcast,
man.
and now it's bad.
No pun intended, but that bites. That's just.
Yeah.
No, man.
So the interesting thing here is, if people remember, Nintendo used to have cereal with Zelda, Mario, and maybe some others as well. Here, I'll retro Nintendo cereal.
See what comes up.
Yeah. So we have Nintendo brand cereal with Zelda on one, or sorry, Link on one side, Mario on the other. They even had some commercials as well with the old retro style looking Mario. So what did it have? It had keys for the Zelda part. It had Ganondorf, hearts, a castle, a shield, keys, and a boomerang. With the Mario, it had mushrooms, Bowser, Goombas, and then I can't really tell what the others are. One's a dinosaur, presumably Yoshi. I don't know. You can't really make out the shapes of the rice puffs. But Nintendo used to do it. It's not like it's anything new. They also had Donkey Kong cereal, so maybe this is just Nintendo like going back into what they used to do. Who knows?
I guess so. I was just poking around on the Kellogg's website that it links to in the article, or on Nintendo's website, to see if I could find it. It doesn't come up, actually, and I searched Super Mario cereal in their website to see if I could find it, and it didn't come up, oddly enough. But what did come up was Mario Kart 8 fruit snacks.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, I've never seen them. Maybe because they don't give us anything good in Canada, apparently.
Poor Canada.
Oh.
Right. So moving on to the second part of the news. You recently attended... No, well, we'll get to that.
Are we skipping that? Okay.
Go on. You recently attended the Symphony of the Goddess. So tell us about your experience there. Because of the YouTube channel, you and I were able to get some free tickets. It sounds, well, you guys can go back, listen to my experience, and I think Luke joined us for that episode too. So if any of you are a fan of Zelda Master, you can go back and watch that video to hear mine and his experience. But just recently, a few days ago, Daniel was able to attend. So tell us about your experience there. How was it getting there to the place?
Yeah, so I went on the 30th, so it was a Thursday night, but it was at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre in Vancouver. So if anyone's local, hey, I was there if you were there. It's super easy to get to because I am a transit bound person, and actually the transit system in Vancouver is like really good. We call it the SkyTrain, but it's like a subway sort of thing that extends like all across the whole like Greater Vancouver area. And if you live in any of the major areas of that, like the train is very accessible, very affordable to take, very quick as well. And this probably means nothing to you, Jesse, but you can get from like Surrey to downtown in like 30 minutes, so it's awesome. And yeah, so it's like 2 blocks from the station, from one of the train stations, which is like awesome, super convenient, because I live really close to another station, so very convenient. I was confused about where I should go when I first got there, because I had never been, but I had free tickets, so I went to the will to call and they just had to check my ID, and I was golden. The show itself was amazing. It was brilliant. It's like just one of those things. Like, I think you should just go and experience it for yourself. Like, they worked in a lot of songs that I didn't expect, and there was a couple missing that I was expecting, but they didn't make it in. But like, it was just a phenomenal show, and like the conductor was the most enthusiastic, happy guy I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, and so you had a male conductor. We had I forgot her name, but there was a woman conductor, and they brought out the Wind Waker.
Yes, I was gonna say, like, when he cracks out the Wind Waker and he used that to conduct the orchestra, like, and he was just so happy about it. I don't know. And he like, every time like any song ended, he like turns to the audience with this biggest grin on his face, and he's just like pointing to all the different people that were involved in the song, and he's like, cheer for them, cheer for these guys now. And just, yeah, he was having a great time. I've never seen a happier person in my life, I swear. Yeah. After the show, I met up with Jason, the producer, You can watch the interview that I did with him on Jesse's channel right now, or you can wait till this podcast is done if you're watching the live stream, and then go watch it. He was the most chill, friendly guy. He was just very laid back, very awesome. He was, yeah, he had these really very intensely blue Nikes. So, and yeah, he was just like super enthusiastic, and he clearly, like, talking about Zelda was a big thing for him, because he was saying, you know, he's been a fan since he was like a 10-year-old kid, and just like I was asking him all these questions about Zelda, and he, like, you could see the nostalgia brewing in his head, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was really a great time. The show was great. Go watch the show. Apparently after this tour they're taking a 1-year hiatus.
No.
So they announced that at the end of the show, saying that they were not touring in 2018. So I don't know why. Maybe it's because Breath of the Wild is already out and that hype is down, and they need to just like, it could be that they're,
well, he may have another like, tour, like another
maybe
game that they're planning.
That's possible. My thought at first was like, okay, well, maybe sales take, like, after this year, like, they're not expecting very good sales, but like, then again, like, Zelda fans, they don't take hiatus from being a Zelda fan. You know, like, we're a very intense group, I think, and the venue was filled. It was a filled venue. Like, the only empty seats that I could really see was the one beside me, because we had 3 tickets under my name, and our third person couldn't make it.
Oh,
at
so
the last minute,
whenever I went, there was a weird situation with our seats, to where we got there and they were getting everybody in the seats, and there was the woman that was showing everyone where their seats were located, and she pointed us to the balcony seats, and then we got in our seats, and then I had a call from Jason to meet him beside the stage to do our interview. So then we got up, went and talked to him. Everything went completely fine. We got back to our seats. There were people sitting in our seats, and we both had tickets with the same letter and the same numbers on it. So I was like, did they sell our tickets twice? What's going on here? So we went and talked to the person, and apparently we were pointed to the wrong seats, because there were letters and numbers for the seats in the balcony, and there's those same letters and numbers for the seats on the floor. And it turned out we had better seats than we were first told. So
okay, so that worked out for you.
Yeah,
then.
Yeah. It was just a small mistake on the usher, or whatever you want to call the person who guides you to the seats. So I had a very similar experience. They seemed super excited when they used the Wind Waker. Did you buy any merch from there?
I didn't. It was the night before my payday for my day job. So I was on a shoestring budget, but I wanted to get a Wind Waker, actually, because it just was like cool. Yeah. But I didn't end up getting one. Oh well, you know, it happens. Like, I've been to a lot of concerts before where I just, you know, I've really wanted to get merch, and it's either way marked up, like probably more than it should be, like $40 for a t-shirt. I think it's like the most I've seen where I'm like, okay, you know, I want a shirt, but like, that's too much. But yeah, no, it didn't work out this time. All right. It's fine.
Moving on to
I will survive.
Our third piece of news. Xenoblade Chronicle 2's Pro Controller looks to have an improved D-pad. So this comes from Go Nintendo. And they say some people have complained that the D-pad on the Switch Pro Controller is causing some unintentional button presses. Now with the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 version of the Pro Controller available, those same people were wondering if there had been any improvements or changes to the D-pad. Looks like there's some anecdotal evidence pointing to yes. Howie23 over on Reddit has been doing some detective work to look into the D-pads on each controller, and he noticed some differences in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Switch's Pro Controller once he took it apart. First up, the pole that attaches to the D-pad to the controller in the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 version seems to be a bit taller than the original. Second, the rubber membrane for the D-pad has a tube in the center that the pole sits in, and the old controllers. This tube is made of hard, rigid rubber. This new controller has a membrane that is softer and less rigid. According to Howie23, these changes make some noticeable difference in how the controller's D-pad operates, making for more precise inputs. So, if any of you are looking to get a new controller, the Xenoblade Chronicle 2 Pro controller isn't just cosmetic. Apparently, it is actually a better controller because it fixes issues certain people had with the original D-pad. Now, personally, I haven't had many issues with my Pro controller at all.
Same. My Pro controller, I haven't had these accidental button press issues at all. But I still think I might get this one just because I really like the cosmetic change. Like, I really like the colors and the sort of like cross that's on the middle, the green. I don't know, it just looks really cool. But I have had no problem with my Pro controller with the D-pad.
Yeah. I will say we need a Breath of the Wild Pro controller.
Yeah, that would be really cool if it was like in the same style as the Sheikah Slate. If you had like the sort of like that dark brown and then it has some of the blue
with the Sheikah Eye logo on it.
Yeah. In place of the Nintendo Switch logo that's on there, you have the little Sheikah symbol, and then the buttons have either the orange or blue light. That would be cool, but maybe I'm dreaming too big.
So our next piece of news, why don't you get to it with the EA?
The next news comes from a IGN who has the loudest advertisements on their website. The news article is EA's UFC 3 under fire for loot box controversy. Again, I don't think we can go a week without talking about loot boxes, man.
That's why I put this into the quickfire round of news instead of making a video, because nobody cares. Like, I've seen the views, the comments on the videos that talk about loot boxes. Everyone's just tired of it. Nobody really cares.
Yeah. So it's, more of the same loot box problems here. Yeah. Like,
and I brought this one up because it's UFC 3 is the game that they're having the loot box controversy with, and for me it's like it's a one-on-one fighting game. How could you put loot boxes in this? Like, what could they possibly
like? That seems like a really weird game to put loot boxes in.
Yeah, throw a stronger punch for $5.
I don't know. Like, in a game like Destiny or an MMO of some kind, like, I guess loot boxes make a lot more sense in that setting, but like a one-on-one 1v1, it's a UFC game. I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. Why? I feel like EA is just like, they're just really milking it as much as they can.
To make it as quick as possible, just EA stop. Like,
you need to calm down with the loot boxes.
Alright, so give us our final piece of news.
The Pokemon voice actress. So Pokemon movie finds its female lead with Big Little Lies actress. So this actress, Catherine Newton, who has been in an HBO show called Big Little Lies, has been casted for the live action movie adaptation of Pokemon.
Yes. Now, do we know if this is like an actual Pokemon movie, or is this the Detective Pikachu live action Pokemon movie?
Is the project the project titled Detective Pikachu. Okay. You are correct on that. They've just wrapped an intense casting and reading session where they're testing, not like auditions, but just doing test readings. They also have Stranger Things star Natalia Dyer and 13 Reasons Why star Catherine Langford also running for this same role, apparently. Detective Pikachu looks really weird.
Yeah, they announced the game, and then like soon after there were rumors that they were going to be a movie.
I don't understand. Detective Pikachu, just the character of Detective Pikachu confuses me, because he's just this little Pikachu and he's so cute, but then his voice is like this like intense, very masculine voice. I don't know. Yeah, so yes, let's see what else we got in this article. The role nabbed is that of Lucy, a sassy journalist who goes on an adventure with the boy, played by Smith, and the detective Pikachu, who will be motion capture created. So it's not like a fully CG, well, mostly CG, but if someone doesn't know what motion capture is, they have an actual actor who straps on a bunch of sensors in a weird bodysuit, and they actually act out the motions, and then they CG over top of those motions to have sort of more realistic movement for their character. The character Lucy has her own Pokemon sidekick, a Psyduck. It's not known if the Psyduck will appear in the movie, though. So, yes.
I think it's pretty obvious that there's going to be a Psyduck and many other Pokemon in this. I can't see a Pokemon movie with just Pikachu.
And only Pikachu.
My question is, they just made this game, Detective Pikachu. Now they're making this movie. Why have they never tried making like just a Pokemon movie?
That's like live action like that?
Yeah. Like just Pokemon, the movie, where it's an actual movie.
I don't know. I don't know if I want that, to be honest, because like...
But would you rather have this Detective Pikachu? Just where it's like...
No, I don't want that either.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, they have this huge franchise of Pokemon games and Pokemon anime, Pokemon movies, Pokemon comics, Pokemon manga. And then they come out with a spin-off Pokemon, Detective Pikachu. That's just this one game that sold well. It didn't sell like nearly as much as normal Pokemon games. But they decide the first movie that they're going to make, the first live-action Pokemon movie they're going to make, is about this spin-off game, which not that many people really care about. Why not make it what people would want? It's like, if you're going to do it anyways, like you just said, you don't want a live-action Pokemon movie, but if you're going to do it with like the Pokemon series that people like, not the spin-off game that hardly anyone played. But yeah, that's just my thoughts.
My thoughts are super negative. I don't want any of this. I just like keep it an anime, not even. And actually, we can just quickly include. Did you see there was a that Pokemon movie that was sort of a not a reboot, but like a retelling of the first Pokemon episode? Pikachu. And then Pikachu talked in English.
I think it was to get a reaction, just to see how it would fare with the Pokemon movie with Detective Pikachu. So they're
just to see if talking Pikachu would fly or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't fly apparently.
It's just them testing the waters.
Yeah, that don't fly. People were. I saw videos of people's reactions in the theaters, and they were like booing and they were mad.
Yeah.
And in fairness, like it's literally one. Yeah, there's literally one line of dialogue, that Pikachu says. He does his normal Pika Pika stuff for the rest of the movie, but it's like it's really just like out of nowhere, and it doesn't actually make sense. Yeah. And it's just like it's probably not even something Pikachu would say. Pikachu doesn't strike me as the. I'm maybe looking too much into Ash's Pikachu as a character, but like in that first episode, Pikachu doesn't like Ash. They don't get along in that first episode.
Yeah. And we've had like 20, 30 years of Pikachu, and he's never talked. So,
yeah, he's a classic Chewbacca, you know, like just that talking side character, or not side character, but the talking companion character that only the one character really understands and the audience doesn't. So like just let that be, please. I don't know, like usually I'm not super opposed to change, but like this was too weird. I don't know. My thought is maybe it's just in Ash's head.
Yeah.
He just got electrocuted or whatever. It's all in his head.
Poor Ash. Maybe I don't know. I don't see Detective Pikachu being like, I heard rumors that like The Rock or some other famous actors were going to voice Pikachu, but
if it was The Rock, I would watch that movie. I would totally watch that.
It's just odd. But Kano in the chat says head canon.
That is
for Pikachu talking in Ash's mind because he got zapped. But this brings us to the end of our news. So next up is our mailbag. So
yes, the Curiosity Shop.
Yes. So the videos on this channel are funded by supporters on Patreon like you. If you're a fan of this channel and would like to join on videos, receive shoutouts, watch videos early, have your questions answered, or have your topic discussed on our podcast, please consider supporting on Patreon for these and many other rewards for just $1. Shoutouts for this video includes Link Use the Triforce, Rusty Caulfield, Lovable Christy, Give Time 15, Shadow to Us, Robbie Morgan, and Lunarium. I want to thank all of you for everything you have done to help support this channel.